over the last month or so. I'm going to run through 3 pieces of audio. And each one of them is from a high-profile Dallas Cowboy. And the mindset of this team and the conversation around this team is seemingly so ludicrous that I want to run through these and you guys try to explain them. But before I do that, if I were to say blindly right now for you to rank best to worst NFC East teams heading into next season, what would your order be? The free agency hasn't started. There's no draft, but I give you the 4 teams in the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders.
It's Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants.
Correct.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
Cosign.
So we are talking about a third-place team. Okay. This is from January 9th. Micah Parsons, The Edge with Micah Parsons, about the Dallas Cowboys.
We're not done yet. We are not done yet, and I hope that y'all don't think we're done yet. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing thing to see next year when we're holding the trophy. Yeah, it's just big goals, but I'm telling y'all right now, it's holding the trophy. I'm saying my prayers out loud. I'm saying my goals out loud so y'all can hear them. You know, we're going to be holding a trophy up next year. Point blank, period.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Jerry Jones, owner, general manager of the team. This is from February 6th. This is on the Scoop City podcast, courtesy of The Athletic with Diana Rossini. Here is what he had to say about his expectations around the Super Bowl, especially after signing Dak.
I've always made some pretty serious risk in talent. We certainly can do that here. What you're risking today is not only the player, but you're risking really a piece of your future, because that's what we're all spending as part of what we've got available to spend in years to come. I'm all for doing that. Yeah. I wouldn't have signed Dak Prescott, highest paid player in the NFL, if now wasn't when we wanted to win. This is a shocker to be here at this Super Bowl and not have the Cowboys here. I didn't plan on that when I made that agreement with them.
Okay, but wait, there's more. Now, this is from yesterday. Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Cowboys, always a kind, charitable guy, at the Children's Cancer Fund Gala that he was a part of. He spoke to the media, and he was talking about how far the Cowboys are away from winning it all.
I mean, I feel like we compete with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we've played them. I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy right now, so credit to them. They've earned and they deserved it by all means, but yeah, very close, especially when you even watch the NFC game, the NFC Championship, and those 2 teams that we battle against each and every year a couple of times, and as I said, feel confident about we've gotten the better part each and every time. To see it in such a dominating fashion, credit to them. It's our turn and it's on us.
Okay, Smalls, I saw you. It took every part of you to hold back laughter. Both, what is going on here? What are they doing?
I'm all about manifestation and speaking things into existence.
Me too.
But that's delusional. He's talking about checking the record against the Eagles. Did you see what the Eagles did to you this year? You got outscored in 2 games, 75-13.
Check the record, though.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I don't know.
I get that people are asking you direct questions and trying to figure out what your mind state is, seeing 2 of your division rivals be in the championship rounds and one holding up Lombardi at the end of the season. But when you get asked a question about somebody else, just answer the question. We're focused on our business. You don't have to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't have to talk about the Washington Commanders. Just talk about what your team needs to do when you're starting your offseason in order to build and hopefully get to have the opportunity that those other 2 teams of your division had this past season. Don't start talking about we're not that far off and we're close and we can hang with the best of them and look at our record against them in the past. Nobody cares about that. Your team had a losing record in the season where they paid you $60 million a year. You're supposed to be the best quarterback in your division and one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. And right now, looking at the NFC East, there's an argument to be made going into 2025 that Dak is 3rd at best. And that's just because we don't know who the hell the Giants quarterback is.
Right.
So I don't understand why the Cowboys players always have to be bombastic in prognosticating what their team is capable of accomplishing. Talk is cheap. That's what Tom Coughlin used to tell us when I was with the New York Giants. He had those sayings plastered all throughout the building. You go out there and show us that you're not that far off. Go out there and prove to everybody that you're capable of doing something that nobody thinks you can accomplish. And to me, that's where it starts and ends for the Dallas Cowboys. They need to have a quiet offseason, but based on how things are starting, it's going to be anything but.
So normally I would absolutely agree with the sentiment that talk is cheap, except when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, because talk has been money for them. Because that's all they do. They talk, they're in the headlines, they love the relevancy, they love for us to talk about them, and it's made Jerry Jones a lot of money to be a brand that is constantly in our atmosphere and a brand that we're constantly talking about, whether it's for good or for bad. So talk is actually the thing that they do the very best. It's not winning football games. They're the third best team in the division. They have the third best quarterback in the division. And they're talking about Super Bowl. I think when Micah Parsons made that comment on his podcast, he didn't even know who his head coach was going to be at that time. And I totally appreciate being positive and believing in yourself and your teammates. I totally believe in speaking things into existence. But I also think that you cannot trust anything any of the Dallas Cowboys say, because it starts and ends with Jerry Jones. He said they were all in last year. You're all in for what? You didn't even call Derrick Henry. How are you going to tell me that you're all in? You were 2-7 at home last year, and you feel like you're close? You feel like you're close to a team that just won a Super Bowl and a team that was just in the NFC Championship game with a rookie at quarterback that won 4 games last year? Tell me how you're close. Show me how you're close. Because all I see right now is yet another offseason where the Dallas Cowboys tell us that they're all in and that they're close to winning a championship, and I don't see any reasons to point to that being factual.
You know what's interesting about like the concept of culture and leadership that we throw around a lot? A lot of it is just based on the most influential person changing the mindset of those that are underneath or with that person, right? Dak Prescott, when he first came into the league, didn't talk this way. He wasn't, our turn guy. He was the, aw shucks, happy to be here, worried about us, just trying to work hard, whatever. Jerry Jones has infiltrated his thought process because now he thinks this is the kind of things that I should be saying. These are the kind of things I should be saying, which this was never Dak. I loved Dak early on. I still like Dak a lot as a quarterback, but I loved him early on because he felt like Jalen Hurts. He felt like the guy that's like saying nothing, just doing his job, and never adding to the drama. Our turn? Our turn for what? You said it, Cece. It's not, and you played for coaches that would influence you and impact you positively to say less, right? To not do as much. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to talk or have a platform. That's not what I'm saying. When I say that, just don't give other teams ammo.
Well, you say that, but we saw yesterday the New York Jets were insisted that Aaron Rodgers not go on the Pat McAfee show because they don't want their quarterback talking too much. They don't want him, a guy that's in a leadership position, to say the wrong things that are counter to the messaging that the head coach and everybody else in the organization is trying to give in order to develop the culture so they can be competitive and try to win championships. So we say that you shouldn't talk to the media. I'm not saying that you don't address the media when it's your time to speak. Every player has an assigned media availability. It's a part of your job. It's in your contract. But here's what Bill Parcells told me a long time ago. As a player, you can help the media do their job. They can't help you do your job. So be cognizant of what the hell you're saying to them and don't put people in precarious positions. But that's what the Dallas Cowboys do time and time again. And it's starting with their star players. It happens with Dak Prescott. It happens with Micah Parsons. Not so much CeeDee Lamb, but his family has said things about players on the team in the past. At some point, it's got to stop. And I'm sorry, but hiring Brian Schottenheimer, who was complicit in what we've seen with the Dallas Cowboys over the last several seasons, doesn't give me a lot of confidence that things are going to change in that regard. So you're asking me, where do the Cowboys go from here? It really doesn't matter when it comes to what they do, the players that they add, because it's going to be the same culture. The same culture that has kept them out of the championship rounds for the last 3 decades.
Well, remember when they hired him, they said that part of the reason was because of continuity. So clearly they thought that was important, but why? That's what I can't understand.
So the owner can meddle. That's why.
Exactly. And you know what's so funny about what Dak said specifically is the answer that he should have given is so blatantly obvious. All you have to say is, we watched a team in our division win the Super Bowl and another team go to the NFC Championship game, and we're hungry to get there. They've set the standard. We're hungry to get there. Boom, done. We're not talking about that. That's not a headline. You're acknowledging that you're in a certain place in this division and you want to get better, and acknowledging the success that other teams have had without making a headline. But as soon as you say it's our turn, we're going to win, we're looking at the record, we're looking at the way you performed at home, we're looking at the head coaching hire that your organization made, we're looking at the fact that Jerry Jones is still going to be Jerry Jones, and the drama is still going to ensue, and we're all wondering then why, and then we're having these conversations.
You know what's amazing? You guys have both given such easy responses that didn't give. How far away are you? Well, we were 7-10. The Eagles were 14-3, so we're 7 games away from doing our first job, which is winning the division. And in order for us to do that, we have to get better ourselves. That starts today. But how far are you away from winning the Super Bowl? We're 7 games away from the Philadelphia Eagles. We have to just say the same thing. Oh, the on to Cincinnati works.
We got to continue this conversation. I know we're up against the break, but there are some serious questions that the Dallas Cowboys have to ask themselves about how they're going to get this team back to the playoffs and competing for championships. And there are going to be some difficult answers. And I got a couple for you on the other side of the break. We got to get to it.
And oh, by the way, they may not even be the hottest.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel, your #1 spot for all things Dallas Cowboys. If you love staying updated with the latest news, rumors, and analysis, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the latest breaking news from America's team. Segment 1, Micah Parsons mega extension money bag. Fire all right, Cowboys fans. We all knew this was coming. Micah Parsons is about to get paid. ESPN's Dan Graziano is reporting that the Cowboys are expected to sign Parsons to a record-breaking contract extension worth around $180 million over 4 years, with $125 million guaranteed. That would make him the highest-paid defender in the league and the highest-paid non-quarterback in the entire NFL. Speech balloon, now let's be real. Parsons has earned every penny of that deal. He's already a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, and has racked up 52.5 sacks and 9 forced fumbles in just 4 seasons. The guy is an absolute game changer. Thinking face, but here's the big question. Is Jerry Jones willing to break the bank and build a Super Bowl caliber defense around Parsons? Micah himself said, having $40 million and being chipped every play doesn't sound too fun. I want to play with guys who can help me win championships. So will Dallas make the right moves to keep this defense dominant? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Segment 2, Myles Garrett trade rumors police car light. Speaking of building a dominant defense, Cowboys Nation, how would you feel about adding another superstar edge rusher? Because Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland. That's right, Garrett officially requested a trade, and guess which team is rumored to be a top destination? The Dallas Cowboys. According to oddsmakers, the Cowboys and Chiefs are the co-favorites to land Garrett if the Browns decide to move on from him. Film projector, and here's the kicker. There's an old video of Garrett literally begging Jerry Jones to draft him back in 2017. He even had a trade proposal worked out. Dak Prescott stays as QB, Tony Romo and some picks go to Cleveland, and boom, Garrett lands in Dallas. Exploding head, now imagine pairing Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett together. That would be the most terrifying pass rush duo in the entire league. But let's be real, the Cowboys couldn't even find cap space for Derrick Henry last year. So do we really think Jerry and Stephen Jones will make the moves necessary to bring in Garrett? Let me know what you think. Should Dallas go all in for Garrett or focus on other positions? Segment 3, Stefon Diggs to Dallas? Thinking face. Police car light, now let's switch gears to the offensive side of the ball. We all know the Cowboys are way too dependent on CeeDee Lamb, and with Brandon Cooks likely gone in free agency, Dallas needs a legit WR2 to take some pressure off Lamb. Enter Stefon Diggs. Yep, the former Texans star is hitting free agency, and the rumors are he wants to play with his brother, Cowboys DB Trayvon Diggs. Loudspeaker Cowboys fans, can you imagine a Lamb-Diggs combo? That would give Dak one of the most lethal receiving duos in the league. Plus, Diggs is expected to be fully recovered from his ACL injury by training camp. Thinking face, but here's the big question. Should Dallas invest in a big-name veteran like Diggs or focus on drafting a young WR? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Conclusion, fan engagement direct hit. Speech balloon, all right, Cowboys Nation, that's a wrap for today's video. But I want to hear from you. Should Jerry Jones make the Micah Parsons extension a priority? Do we go all in for Myles Garrett or focus on adding Stefon Diggs to our offense? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Fire, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all things Dallas Cowboys. We're bringing you the hottest news, rumors, and analysis all season long. Until next time, go Cowboys!